Hey, y'all, I'm Shane Sams, the host of the Flipped Lifestyle Podcast. Super excited to be back with you again this week to help another member of our community flip their life upside down with online business. Got a great guest today. His name is Joel Santana. Now, I did an event last year in Tampa, Florida, and I met Joel. He sat front and center, man, front row, right next to me, man. I was talking to him the whole time from the front of the room. And, you know, at our live events, we go through the Flipped Lifestyle Blueprint. We help people find their idea. We help people get started. And Joel came up with an amazing idea for his online business. And he has been a shining example of everybody in the community of what you should do if you want to be successful. You got to roll up your sleeves, open your wallet, invest in yourself, and get after it. And he did. In just a few short weeks from that event, after joining the Flipped Lifestyle community, after he had his Flipped Lifestyle experience live, he opened his membership and he got 5 members and then 9 members, then 11 members. And he realized, man, I've got an offer that converts. I've got a product that can help people. I'm building a community around my God-given talents, skills, and abilities. I sat down, had a great chat with Joel. I know this is going to inspire you to take action on your online dream. And we're going to help Joel overcome the fears, mindset issues, and obstacles that are holding him back right now to get to the next level of his particular journey. We're going to talk about content marketing today. We're going to talk a little bit about ads, and we're going to talk about how to launch your membership successfully. Joel is an amazing human being. I know you're going to enjoy this podcast. So wherever you are listening to my voice, thank you so much for tuning in today. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. Welcome to the Flipped Lifestyle Podcast, where life always comes before work. We're your hosts, Shane and Jocelyn Sams. We're a real family that figured out how to make our entire living online. And now we help other families do the same. Are you ready to flip your life? All right, let's get started. What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Flipped Lifestyle Podcast. It is great to be back with you again this week. Super excited to help another real member of the Flipped Lifestyle community take their online dream, their online business, their membership website to the next level. And I love it when I get to hang out with somebody that I've hung out with, taught, and met in person. My guest today is Flipped Lifestyle community member Joelle Santana. What's up, Joelle?
Awesome. Hey, how's it going, Shane? Just so great to be on here with you, man. So excited.
Man. I had to make sure. Joel told me when he first met me, he's like, it's not Joel. It's Joel. Yeah. Joel, man, right. You got to say it correctly, bro.
Joel.
And man, we're kind of celebrating here a little bit. You came to one of our live events. We've been doing live events all over the country for the past few months. We're going to be doing them all through 2022 and beyond. And you came in and, man, you jumped into the program. You went in hot and heavy, and you got a launch. Tell everybody how many members you got when you launched.
When I launched, within the first week, I had 5 members. I was really excited about that.
Wasn't that the greatest feeling ever?
Yes.
Like when you got those first members. Like, what did you think when the first person joined and you were like, if I can get one, I can get 101? Like, what was your
it was that. I immediately, I showed my wife and I was like, I got a member. You get excited. It's like it could be one, or I mean, if it was more, I'm sure the excitement would be a lot greater too. But the point is you're so excited about just that one. Like you're like, I can't believe it. Okay, this is a real thing.
Someone voted with their wallet. Your stuff is worthy, you know?
Yes.
And okay, so it's been a couple weeks since I heard that story. So now how many members are you up to right now?
Well, I was at 11, and then right now I'm down to 9. But I know it's a process; it's part of the journey. So,
all right, now let's look at the other side of the equation now, Chris. This is what what did it feel like when the first person canceled?
What did that feel like? Word! That was actually very early on, not too long after the first 5, and I thought to myself, "What is going on?" So immediately, the first thought was self-doubt. Was like, you know what? Maybe you don't know what you're doing. Maybe this is not, and then immediately I will say, I'm just being honest. Like, I know it's because of my faith walk. You take every thought captive. And I said, no, like, I'm not going to do that. Like, I'm not going to worry about the person leaving. I'm going to focus on the people that are staying.
That's right.
And that was my mentality.
That's good, man. Yeah. I always look at it too. Like, there's 2 really positive ways. Like, it's actually really, really, really good when people quit. And that sounds so bizarre. And actually it's even better. I've got a buddy of mine named Brian Harris, and he told me this one time. He goes, I love when someone asks for a refund. And it's the same thing with a membership. I love it when people quit because you get to ask them why. And you get to learn, like, well, why was that? Was it them? Was it you? Was it something you could control? Was it something out of your control? And you get to fix it. You get to make it better. You get to improve whatever it was. That's why we're so big on telling our members, when someone quits your membership, reach out to them, ask them why, like what is going on. And it makes you better. It makes them better. And sometimes, man, it's just like, this wasn't a good fit for me. I'm like, you know what? I don't want you to be stuck somewhere that's not a good fit for you either. So
precisely,
we get to serve our people, man. That's great.
And that was the thought with that, because one of the members that quit, I reached out to them and he didn't respond. And I remember speaking to somebody else and she gave me the advice. She said, just focus on the people that are staying, reach out to the people who leave, but don't
hound
immediately.
them.
Yeah. And don't do that. And then the other person that left, she was moving to another country. And she said, hey, just a lot of stuff going on, but I really want to come back. I love the membership. So I was like, okay, well, this is just the nature
of it. The whole thing is a journey. We have people in our memberships come back all the time.
Cool.
And that's why we have an open door, revolving door policy. Like you come in. Now, we only give our free trial coming in. You only get that one time, right? If on any of our memberships. Okay. We've got this new, our online experience now is, it's called the Flipped Lifestyle Experience. And it's basically what you did in the 2-day event. We've completely reshaped our online experience to people coming in and getting that live experience as we focus more on coaching and higher tiered memberships. And but when people come into, ushistoryteachers.com, when they used to come into elementarylibrarian.com, if they left, we're like, cool, we'll see you back. When can we expect you back? And we actually found people would tell us like a date. They would be like, well, I'm coming back in like August. And I'm like, oh, note to self, email Sally in August, right? And people would come back in, man. That's amazing, dude.
Awesome.
Let's back up just a second. And I give everybody, I know you, we've talked in person, we met in person, and, you've been a super active community member. You've been coming to co-working and all of the resources that we have available for our people. But, just tell everybody listening to the podcast out there, like, who is Joelle Santana? Where are you from? What was your background before you came to one of our live events, before you joined the community and started this membership?
Awesome. Well, so my name is Joel Santana, and I am a digital artist and concept artist. And so what that means is that I create artwork for mobile games. I do some artwork as well for like children's books and publishing, advertising, animation, things like that. So a little bit of everything, but it's all illustration work. My background, though, I started in advertising. So I worked for ad agencies. I worked some in-house, but it was always as a graphic designer. Art direction. I did some art direction, photography, art direction, that kind of thing. And I spent many years doing that because I always had a passion for illustration, but I remember thinking I need a job. And
money's important. You have to eat.
Yeah. Right. And it just seemed like illustration, that was more of like a rock star job, like that was very distant, not super attainable. And so I just kind of went into graphic design, had high job placement. But to be honest, I think that prepared me for what I'm doing right now with this membership. So eventually I realized that illustration was my passion, and I eventually transitioned into that. And it's been about 15, 16 years now working professionally as an artist. So it's been quite incredible. A journey.
Yeah, I need to introduce you to this guy in our community named Daniel Holzman, who does music for games.
Oh, wow.
Awesome. Yeah. So he's in the same industry. He's just doing the audio side instead of the visual side. He's been on the podcast. He was actually he actually started out as kind of a doubter and a hater of Flip Lifestyle, and he wrote us this hilarious email one time, and I remember reading it, and I was like, "This guy wants to start a business. He just is mad at something." And I emailed Daniel at the back, and I got him, and I convinced him to join the community. I'm very persuasive. And he went out and he built a business, and he got some members, and he made a little income, and helped him and his wife buy a house. And yeah, man, I'll introduce you to him. And also, I need to Isaac, my son. He came. We were in the car yesterday coming home from school. And, I just got home from the road and I was tired, and, so we were just having a nice low key conversation, nothing major. And he's 13 years old. And all of a sudden he just said, Dad, I've been thinking about what I want to do, when I get older lately. He goes, I don't know why. It's just started coming into my head. And I'm like, yeah, that's normal. This time of your life. And Isaac has a hidden talent. He's really good at drawing. Like he won't admit it, but like he loves anime, and he draws. He can draw those characters just like the cartoons look.
Wow,
I mean, it's insane.
That's awesome. Yeah.
But he's like, I really want to do something with computers and technology, and I want to be in the gaming industry and stuff like that. And I'm like, I might send him over to your membership or something, dude. I may just go. What are you teaching in your membership? Are you teaching design work? Are you teaching computers? Like, what are you teaching?
So what I'm teaching is how to people who already draw. A lot of people already draw and they don't understand or realize that you can draw on the computer as well. So the easiest way to kind of explain it is I'm showing you how to take your sketch. Like, okay, so you did this sketch on paper. I'm showing you how to scan that into the computer and how to bring it to life with color and all of that using the tools online. So using Photoshop. So to make it very like clear cut, you bring I show you how to bring your sketch into the computer and how to paint it using Photoshop. Really, they could use whatever. There's a lot of different software out there that you could use to paint. And what I teach, I've seen a lot of my students in the past be successful using other applications. So it doesn't have to be Photoshop, but I'm basically showing them how to paint. It's called digital painting and how to do that. And I walk them through the process and how I do it.
So is that how they get the imagery into like mobile games and stuff? Like they draw it in the real world, they draw it and then they put it into the computer programs to turn it into these amazing things. Is that how a lot of artists work?
Correct. Yes. And honestly, we do. That's what I do actually. So for the mobile gaming studio, I do all the painting, and then all that final art goes to an animator. So there's a whole pipeline, but you could also sketch. You can sketch right in the computer, and some people feel comfortable with that. So what's happened to me in the past with other students is they don't feel comfortable sketching in the computer, but they feel comfortable sketching on paper. And I just want people to know, whatever you feel comfortable with, you can take this course. I'll show you how to do it either way. If you want to draw on paper and scan it in, or if you want to draw right in the computer and start painting right there, hit the ground running, you can do that too. So, but yeah, everything is done digitally. Everything, books, everything you see on TV, it's all drawn and painted in the computer.
That's really cool. It is really, really cool. And it's awesome when I hear like, I was in an argument per se on Facebook yesterday with another influential online, he was really being like super cynical and like, I won't name names, but you can find it on Facebook. And he's really cynical, and he was like talking to people, he was really blasting people who had this like help people one chapter behind mentality. Russell Brunson teaches this. I teach it. A lot of other people do. I really believe that everyone right where they are has a God-given talent, ability, skill, wisdom, something they love, something they've learned, something they've lived through. I believe this. Like, if you just will take what you're doing right now and teach somebody right a couple steps behind you, you can really help people. Like, you've proven this. I mean, you got 11 people to join your membership, like there's clearly people right there that want to learn from you where you are. And, I love the fact that you can just like reach back and help people do this, and like the internet and memberships make it possible for us to serve people. Exactly. And we don't have to be like you don't have to be in the Illustrator Hall of Fame or have one of your games playing in the Louvre.
Yeah, exactly. Right?
Yeah, man.
That is so true. That's, I do want to add on to that, because that's one of the things that kind of helped me realize this, is because in regards to anybody can do this, I kept thinking like, well, I don't know like how to approach this. I don't know how I'm going to do this membership. And then I realized, wait a minute, I teach with this other company, and I won't say who it is, but it's an online company that I've taught with over the last 2 years. And I realized, wait a minute, I have 20,000 students with that company. Of
course you do. We are all have these hidden, like, you know how many people I hear say that, Joelle, like, I just realized I did a really cool thing. Yeah, I mean, exactly. Like, right.
And you don't know, and you think, and then I thought to myself, it's a 98% review. And I'm saying that just to say that it made me realize, wait a minute, people do care what I have to say. That's and right. A lot of these reviews, if it's 98%, that means that not only do they like what I say, but they're getting something out of it. So, okay, so then maybe I could do this membership thing. And I believe what you just said there is so powerful, is that Yes, anyone, people can do it. Like, it just, do you have the drive? Do you have the passion for that? Like, if you have a passion to do something, I believe it's just a matter of finding somebody who can give you the tools or who can kind of guide you along the way. And then it's time to fly. I love that. Yeah.
Yeah, man, that's our goal, man. Like, and I love what you said there. Like, wait, people care what I have to say. When people come in to the community, they'll say like, they'll say something like that. They'll say, I mean, who's going to care what I have to say? Or, people don't care what I have to say. No, it's usually not that they don't care. It's you're not saying anything.
Yeah.
Like it's when you say something that people can prove they care with their wallet and with their time. Right. Absolutely. Yep. And like you prove that, man, when you launch. I seriously am. I'm gonna show my son your website and I'm gonna be like, you want to look at this? I might join for a couple months and see if he'll do it. Like I can't draw anything. The only thing I can draw is a pistol when I'm shooting my guns. That's it, man. And like I can't draw a straight line, dude. But
I can't shoot a pistol, so maybe
there you go. Hey, we'll trade services. We'll trade some services. Yeah. But I'm gonna tell Isaac when he gets home from school.
Awesome.
Well, let's change gears a little bit here. What was like? I'm gonna usually I ask people like, what's holding them back right now? What's their fear? I'm gonna ask you that, but like, I do want to talk a little more into the launch part because you launched really fast. Like it was really fast. Like, and we tell people you can go pretty quick in the community. I mean, the blueprint's there, everything's right there. You got the support, you got the accountability, but like. When you not talking about just joining the community, but like what was the fear between joining and launching? Like how did you feel? Was there any fears or like what was your biggest obstacle in that couple months there where you were like that held you back? Was there anything that kind of held you up or hung you up, or did you just roar to the finish line and hit launch? Like what held you back a little bit there?
I think my biggest hindrance, I guess, at the time was that I kept thinking I have to put together the perfect course. I have to like my content has to be perfect. It has to be, I have to cross all my, T's, dot all my I's. I have to have everything in place. And I kept rewriting the course, rewriting the curriculum, saying, no, this is what I'm going to teach. No, this makes more sense. And so that was a big holdback, and aside from that, also time management, like I said, I work, I don't just work a 9 to 5. I do, in a sense, I'm an independent contractor for this mobile gaming studio, but I do other side gigs through an artist agent that I have. So I've got constantly things going on. So it was a matter of figuring out like, man, I've got all this stuff that I want. I want the curriculum to be the best thing. I want to launch with the best course. But I also have all these other things going on. And when you're trying to give everything 100%, it's really, you realize that you're one person and you do have to prioritize, and some things just kind of have to wait. Or some things, for example, with the course, you have to realize like, hey, this is good. This is good. Yes. I don't need to rewrite this 6,000 times. Just put it out there. And then this is not the only course you're going to do. You're going to have more products in there. You're going to have more stuff. So just get it going. And so that was the thing that.
I would bet your students have already given you ideas of other things that you need to do, that's what that really is the key, is like, get the minimum viable product out there. Because what's funny is like, I just told we were in a room down in Boca Raton last week and someone asked me this very similar question. And I told the room, I was like, guys, whatever you come up with, whatever you think and you create, like, it doesn't matter if it's 10% of what you want to do or 100% of what you want to do and it is perfect. Whatever you put in there, they don't have anything. Your students literally come to you with nothing. So 1% of the final product is going to be infinitely, it's more than they even have.
Absolutely.
So you cannot, man, I love that, dude. What now that you've got members, like from a mindset standpoint, like what's something new or what fears do you have now, like that have come up since you've got members and since you've launched and you're like, wow, this thing's real. I'm going to grow this thing now. Has anything come up? Like anything internally since that? You're shaking your head and laughing. So I'm assuming there's something good here.
Yeah, man, I'm telling you, I'm not just saying this because we're on this call, but this morning, I thought to myself, the new fear is, or thing that creeps into my head, and I got to remember to like push it out, is I want these students to grow, man. Like my goal is I want to see somebody come into the membership and I want them to whether they leave, or they're just continuing on, I want to see that, wow, that they can look at their work. Not just I look at it, but they look at their work and they say, whoa, I've grown. Whoa, I learned I didn't know how to do this. And now I know how to do it. And so that's my thing is, I really want to, I'll put it this way. As an artist, you get so excited when you finish a painting, and you do get it's a sense of reward. Like there's some reward in that. Like you feel like, wow, this turned out really cool. But what the new thing that I think that the Lord has put in my heart is to see somebody not be able to do something, and then you've helped them be able to do it. That is like mind blowing. Like to me, that is just wild. That just really excites me. And so for me, that's my new thing. Is like, I want to make sure that my students have everything that they need. I want, and I'm kind of starting it this way because it's a small group, but I've reached out to each and every one of them individually.
For sure.
I've offered them a private, I told them, hey, I want a one-on-one private coaching call. I just want to know, what are your challenge? What are your goals for this year? What are you trying to achieve? I'm gathering all that information, and I'm going to put together content for the membership that will help cover a lot of those bases. So that's my new thing, is like, I just want to make sure, am I really helping them? Are they really getting value out of this? Or is this just another tutorial? I don't want this to be a tutorial. Ooh. I want them to know that I am helping them, that they're going to grow in this membership.
I hope everybody's listening to this, because and I think, you've seen me talk for 2 days, how passionate I am about our community. And, we use the word parental pride with our team and our core values. Like, we should take parental pride in our people, because, there's a lot of people out there that are, you'll see these super people that are high ticket coaching only, and it's all ego to them, and how many students can they get and whatever. And then you'll see these people selling courses only, and it's a product. I mean, once someone gives you money, you never see them again, right? Yeah. But that's the difference in the membership, is you get to change people, you get to help people, and you get to see the growth and the journey. And just the fact that it's a membership instead of a course only, changes the dynamic totally, because you care about those people, and the results that you give them. It's one thing to learn it, but just from here, I don't know how much you're pushing this, but you could not just help them learn that stuff. You could help these people navigate getting a job. And there's a lot of stuff out there in that world right now. I mean, everything is graphics, everything is content. Yeah. So just to be able to help people even make an income or have a career or do things like that, man, it is a God-given responsibility when you get to lead a community, Yes. He didn't put everybody in charge of everything.
Exactly. And you asked earlier, you said, so what are you kind of asked, what are some of the things that people learn in this course? And I'm glad, or in this membership. And I'm glad that you brought that up, because that's part of it is, hey, if you have self-doubt, let's talk about that. And I can kind of help you through that. If you're trying to figure out, hey, I want to get a job. All right, well, let me help you figure out because there's a lot of opportunities out there. So for example, I don't want to get into too many specifics, but if somebody says, I want to be a character designer, I just had a student tell me that. And I was explaining to her, okay, but you could be a character designer for this. You could do it for film. You could do it for gaming. And she was like, oh, wow, wait a minute. And I was like, yeah, so let's set up a call so that I can kind of put together a list for you, so you can understand what's out there and what you need to do to be able to attain this goal. So it's a lot of that. It's a lot of guidance, not just on, I don't want to just teach you how to make this. I want to teach you how to market it. If you want to sell this, you can do that. Or if you want to get a job doing this, it's kind of you can give somebody the sword, but you want to teach them also how to use it, how to wield it, and stuff like that. So
you want to teach. It's not what to do; it's doing it. Basically,
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So is there a nested little fear in there, of responsibility? Maybe it's I feel you've given yourself a little weight and pressure here, because you're can I pull this off for these people, basically? Yeah,
absolutely. Because and that's why I mentioned before that all the students that I had on that other website, it's exactly like you said. I create this course, it goes up there, and then you don't really, they buy it, and then you don't really engage too much with them. There's a forum, but you don't really engage too much. This is different. This is hey, I'm walking you through it. So there is that responsibility that I can't guarantee success, but I want you to feel that you can enter the Image Maker Society membership and feel like, okay, I'm going to get tools here. I'm going to get knowledge here. This is going to at least get me to that next step or that next level. And there's like you said, there's a sense of responsibility with that, because again, I'm not just teaching you a little course and then I never see you again. It's like, it's walking pressure, you through this. Yeah.
It's pressure. Yeah. And it's funny, every room I walk into, every new student that comes in, I still feel it. I still feel it because, I learned a long time ago that you have to detach yourself from the outcomes of your students. You have to take great pride, and you have to win. I ring cowbells and stuff when people succeed. Like, we party hard when somebody does something good. Don't get me wrong. But so the outcomes are important to us, but I know that I have done all I can do is know that I have done everything in my power to equip my students with everything they need to succeed. Give them the path, give them the accountability, give them the community, give them the leadership. And there's still part of it that's on them. And like that's how you have to kind of look at it. Like, your job as a membership owner is to deliver maximum opportunity to everyone that comes through your doors. And then it's on them. My favorite question I get at live events is, what's the exact percentage of every person who's ever come through that made it? Like, that's gonna like that has any bearing on their life, right? I mean, LeBron James has hit for 50% of his shots. That don't mean you're going to hit them.
Exactly.
It doesn't mean anything. It doesn't. It's like that's literally like saying, what's the average of the NBA's basketball free throw percentage? And that's going to predict my success as a free throw shooter in the NBA. No, I'm 5'10". That's not going to predict anything, right? It's just really, it's 100% on you, but our job as the leader is just to give them every possible, opportunity to grow. So let me, as your leader, let me give you an opportunity to grow. Those are all fears and obstacles. I think you're handling all that really well. Talk to me about the business though. Like, talk to me about now where you're at. Okay. We've been through a couple, rounds here. We've gotten, double-digit members up to it. You've felt the ebb and flow of people coming in and out. So you're getting a taste of marketing and things. What is your plan for growth? What do you need help with on the business side, on the marketing side? Like, do you have any questions right now that are holding you back? Like, where are you at right now?
Big time. I really do have some obstacles there. So real quick, just to rewind back real quick to Christmas, that's how I went from 5 to 11 members. Was I just invested. I continued to invest. I realized that it's not like, hey, just launch get my website up and do all this. I realized that it's a continued investment on my part, not just with my time, but also with my wallet. And I invested into hiring a voiceover. I put together a trailer, and that trailer, that Christmas trailer with the voiceover actress over it, that ended up performing a lot better than my first one in terms of engagement, and then also growing the membership. Now where I'm at today is just trying to figure out how to reach more people. So I've also invested into SEO. So I've reached out to somebody who's doing some of that for me for my website. I'm trying to do some other things, but also my biggest hurdle right now is understanding like Facebook advertising, just internet advertising in general, reaching more people. And how do I do that? I'm using my social platforms. I started doing a little bit of YouTube video to create some free content that's just kind of like a glimpse into what I offer, and seeing if I could generate some like an audience there. But in terms of advertising and marketing, that's probably my biggest hurdle at the moment.
On the trailer, did you run ads to it, or did you just post it on social?
I just I posted it, and then I ran a Facebook ad, which just completely transparency. I don't know I just kind of.
You just wanted to learn how to do it, basically.
I just posted. Yeah. It's like,
click some buttons, boost a post, whatever. Yeah, there exactly. You go. Yeah. That's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. Yeah. Targeting. Targeting is the main thing you have to learn. Like, who are you targeting? You got to try to get it nailed down. But I would say a couple things here. One, ads are like we're going to put ads over to the side.
Okay.
right now. And we'll come back to it. The content side is where we need to focus first, because once you launch, you're doing everything in the exact order, like launch your membership, get your beta group, do this, then content. You gotta get your content strategy nailed down. Like what are you as a content creator? What do you do? You're definitely in the right ballpark with video. Anything design or drawing or anything has got to use YouTube to grow. That doesn't mean you don't take things and put it on your site. Like when you make a YouTube video, it's good to have a blog post where you text, kind of write out the instructions, so you can add a blog roll to it where you're posting the video and the text. That way people have like a step-by-step instruction. There's also, for your content strategy too, I think you should watch The Magician's Hands. We've got to find industry leaders in your space that we can mimic and model, because you could literally draw the same thing, do the same thing, but Joelle will sound different than them. So it's going to be totally different. And I love the way yours works, because I think we have a lot of good models of this in the Flipped Lifestyle community. The best one is probably Evan Burse at thecartoonblock.com. I think you should really subscribe to his YouTube channel, make a point to have a cup of coffee and watch a video of his every day to get you need to get ideas. He's been doing this for years. So, and one of the things that we did with Evan, this is a campaign. I actually helped develop his marketing campaign in the beginning. He draws pictures. He's a comic book artist. So he's drawing pen to paper to the panel. That's how he does it. And his YouTube videos used to be super elaborate how-to videos, but then like, what would people buy? Like, why would they buy that? And he was making no money doing that because he was giving it all away for free. And there was just no instruction, and nobody was really succeeding with it because he wasn't coaching them through it. Right. So I told him, I said, look, let's say you've got this tutorial on Batman that's like 20 minutes, right? Well, why don't you just like get a Post-it note? And I love Post-it notes, Joelle. Yeah. And get a Post-it note. And I said, draw Batman, but time lapse it. Yeah. And stop the video every once in a while and tell them a technique per video. So you are giving value there. But like draw them and just show people how you draw and what you draw. And then teach an element, but like, and then say, if you want to do this, come to the community to do it. I think there's something you can do here like that. It's like, like you got a video of the sketch. Yeah. And it's like you draw, you could even, I think, draw the whole sketch out and actually do the drawing and the sketch part. But then like, all right. And then then like, you're going to be like, all right, now, if you want to learn how to put this in the computer, you want to learn how to do the shading, you want to do videos, I got some more resources for you over on my website. So stuff like that, YouTube is really big, and just getting consistency. That's your number one goal right now, is consistency on YouTube, and then sharing that everywhere, right? You can share the YouTube stuff in other places and tell people about it. You can use the videos in other places like on Facebook Watch and LinkedIn, but I would really just like dial in on YouTube, make that your place. Okay. And dedicate, and really commit to, I am going to release a video every week for the rest of this year. Right. Yeah. So that's step one. That's step one. Once you're consistent at content, the ads and all that become much easier, because you know what people are reacting to, so you know where to spend your money. Right. Yeah, absolutely. So there's phase one. Now let's talk about ads. Ads, there's a couple different strategies. I mean, I would definitely hire someone to do ads if you can, but if you can't, learning the platform, keep it as simple as possible. If you want to grow, our strategy for ads primarily is to run ads to our content. Because what I have found over the years is the bigger your audience gets, the bigger your list gets, and the bigger your membership gets. Okay. And I do run campaigns to get emails. I do run campaigns to get memberships, but it's different. Right now, like when I'm running ads, like last week, we had a really good podcast. It was New Year's, and we ran for the first 2 weeks of 2022. We ran an ad at my podcast. It was the Shane Sams Show. It was all about it was how to achieve your goals, not how to set goals. Everybody else tells you how to set goals and write them down on a piece of paper. Mine was like, no, these are the 3 things I do to give myself the best possible chance of success at any goal. So I ran ads to that, and like downloads were up that week, and new people subscribe, and it's harder to track than opt-ins, but at the same time, I know that my audience is getting bigger, and on every piece of content that I put out there, I ask people to go join my email list. So I'm getting kind of 2 birds with 1 stone. Yeah. So, I mean, I think you in the beginning here, as you start these consistent YouTube channel, maybe you run some ads to maybe you learn YouTube ads a little bit, get you a little course or something. We got some stuff on it in the community about hot ads, warm ads, cold ads, and like just boost that, like give that a chance to succeed. And let's build you an audience first. And then all of your content should try to build your email list right now, right?
Yeah.
Because what I don't want you to do is go out and just spend a ton of money because you don't have you're not consistently creating content, right?
Yeah.
So what are they going to, when they find you, is there any sticking or staying power?
Yeah,
probably not. If they don't join your membership, you got to warm them up. So that's where I would go if I were you on the ad game. Like slow down a little bit. And, people get launched and they get greedy. They're like, oh, I got 10 members. I want more, right? Yeah. Give me some ad money. That's coming in a few months.
Yeah.
Once you're getting the content base kind of going,
Okay. So focusing more on YouTube, creating that's kind of like a funnel in a way, I guess you would say.
It is. That's the top of your funnel, and YouTube is a platform. You own the content. I always tell all of my students, please don't rely on YouTube. YouTube can shut you down. YouTube can do this. They don't do it very often though. The media and the social media hypes all that up. Like people don't get shut down that much unless they're doing something pointfully stupid. They're trying to get shut down to make a point, right? So what I tell people though is take your content and have it on your own platform. Like do you use Kajabi? Use Kajabi, right?
Yeah, I use Kajabi. Yeah.
Use Kajabi. So use Kajabi's website builder, use the blog roll. When you put a video on YouTube, also put it on your site.
That's what I was going to ask you. So the actual video, you should also host, put it on your site.
I upload them individually into Kajabi. They let you put anything you want on there.
Yeah.
And my podcast is on there. My podcast lives on all my websites. Everything we do starts on our website. And then the platforms that we grow on, we put it there as well. Because if YouTube shuts down, well, that's okay. I've been building up my website. So I can still email my list. I can still grow that, right? I can still share that on social media. I pay for that. I control that. Nobody's going to take that down.
So if I put that YouTube content on my website, that's free? That's obviously free content. So would that just be its own page or something?
There's a thing in Kajabi called blog. So you just click on blog and it has a place to upload videos. It has a place to upload audio. You can even do podcasts in Kajabi. Cool. So yeah. You always want, like, our home base is where all of our content lives and we own it. Okay. And then everything else, but you can put it anywhere. It doesn't matter. Like I read one time that 50% of the internet is duplicate content.
Yeah.
Because people who watch YouTube. People who use Facebook. People who love you enough to come to your blog will always come to your blog. So like you're serving people in different places, but you're only working one time.
I see. Okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense. All right. That makes sense. That's good, because actually I had a phone call from somebody at Pinterest. Same thing, just kind of asking, hey, are you interested in advertising or whatever, or ads? And he was suggesting, he was like, you should, a lot of this stuff on YouTube, you should be putting it on your site. It's better everywhere. Okay, so that makes sense.
Anything we can use anywhere else we use. Like all of our videos that we put out get put on our website, put on YouTube, put on LinkedIn, and put on Facebook. And then all of those videos get cut up into shorts for YouTube Shorts, Instagram, and TikTok. So like that's that. So we're working once and use it. But here's the deal. And this is where I want to back up before we get too far down the rabbit hole, because your job is to say right now, you have to ask yourself a question. What if I created a piece of content over the next 52 weeks? What would happen, most likely, probably, if I was consistent with that content? Well, here's what would happen. You would have an opportunity to get a lot of eyeballs every single week. You would have an opportunity to share that content everywhere, every week. You would have the opportunity to get feedback on comments and things from all that comment. Which would make your course better, which would make your next piece of content better. So you would just give yourself all that opportunity. But that doesn't happen by hiring people and doing this, doing that. It happens by, first and foremost, saying, I commit that I am going, now that I know my offer converts, I am committing to building an audience online through content. I'm going to make one piece of, now you can make them all in 1 week and then schedule them for a month. Yeah. So you can make a piece of content tomorrow and then make a piece of content the next day and then the next day and then schedule them. You don't got to do them in real time. They can be scheduled. But if you commit to that, you're giving yourself the opportunity to grow your audience, which will grow your list, which will grow your membership. So that's first. maybe a month from now, you start circling back and being like, okay, can I pay someone now to go back and promote that content that I just put out? Right. Like we promote old content all the time. Like every Saturday we send an email out with 2 old podcasts because I want people to listen to them. I don't want them to drift off into the ash heap of history. Yeah. Right. So all that stuff you're leaving behind will give you the opportunity to keep growing your audience and then start putting some money behind it. Okay.
That's really good. This is really good stuff. Thank you.
Yeah, man. So let's do this. Let's set an action step. Okay. Like I think your action step is consistent content, right? So what can you do in the next 24 hours that sets you up for success as you go forward, to create more content? What's the first step you think you can make in your business?
In order to
to start becoming more consistent with your content. Yeah. What do you think your first step is?
I think it's just kind of prioritize, like putting it on my calendar. Because that's one of the things that I learned is to-do list. You can put 6,000 things on to-do list, but I learned recently, I heard or read somewhere that people who are successful don't work off of a to-do list. They work off of a calendar.
I'm pretty sure that's a slide in my presentation. Yes, I got a picture of picture of Richard Branson, right, and it says that. Yes. That's amazing. Well,
there you go. That's it. So
I'm in your head. I've wormed in, Joelle.
And I didn't even know.
I'm in there. But hey, listen, that's a perfect thing. Do that, and then make an outline of the next 10 pieces of content you want to create. And get those on your calendar when you're going to create them and when you're going to release them. And then when you get that consistent, we circle back in the forums and on coaching calls and co-working. And we're like, okay, let's do that.
Awesome.
Awesome, man. Well, listen, Joelle, man, I appreciate you so much, man. It was just such a good day hanging out
here
with you, man. Meeting when I met you, I was so excited when my team sends me success stories when I'm on the road. And I saw yours, man, and I swear I got teary-eyed. And I was like, that's so awesome, dude.
Thank you, brother.
And thank you too, man. Like I know sometimes, if you're not a podcaster, if you come on these shows, a lot of people are listening. It's like I know it's awesome to be transparent, and it really does help so many other people who listen to this podcast to be inspired, to see what's possible, and to learn a little bit too, man. So thank you for being on the podcast today, bro.
Right on. Thank you so much, man. I this has been awesome. I thank you for having me. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to just share, and then just sharing with me just giving me some action steps and things like that. Very first time that I heard you speak, I was so excited. I talked to my wife about it. I talked to my brothers about it. I was like, dude, you got to listen to this guy. He's awesome. So I'm excited about the journey so far and what's ahead. So I appreciate your time and just everything that you've shared, not just with me, but with everybody. So I appreciate you creating this space for us to learn, to kind of collaborate and grow together. So thank you, man. Appreciate it.
All right, y'all. That wraps up my interview with Joelle Santana. What an incredible member of the Flip Lifestyle community, a shining example of what happens when you follow the plan, when you roll up your sleeves and you get after it and you go out there and you put something out into the world. Money comes back, members come back, opportunity flows back to you. Joelle's journey started at one of our live events at a Flip Lifestyle experience down in Tampa, Florida. And we'd love for you to come out and join us at one of our live events in the future. But did you know that you can get the Flip Lifestyle experience right now online from home? All you have to do is go to flippedlifestyle.com/free. That's FLIPPED lifestyle.com/free. And you can become a member of the Flip Lifestyle community right now online. Not only will you get access to our community forums where you can hang out with other members from all over the world, but you're going to get access to our exclusive online training program. It's called FLX, the Flipped Lifestyle Experience. We're going to show you how to start, build, and grow a membership site of your own. You're going to get to watch my live trainings from the comfort of your own house. You can watch it on a phone, an iPad, on your TV. These are my best trainings, hand-selected by me, myself. And we are making them available to you right now so that you can be like Joelle. You can find your idea. You can start your business. You can build that site. You can get it out there to the world. Get those first members and start growing. Not only that, we have live co-working sessions every single month where you can come and hang out and work with other members of the community for that accountability that you need. And we have live member calls, guests, and other amazing events every single month. Each month, we send all of our members a Flip Lifestyle bulletin to tell you what's going on. And you have dozens of my best training courses right now that are going to help you do everything you need to start, build, and grow a membership site. All you need is 100 people to pay you $50 a month to make $60,000 a year. You only need 200 people in your membership to make 120 grand, 6 figures. We can show you how to do it right now inside the Flipped Lifestyle membership and with our Flipped Lifestyle Experience training program. Try it free right now for 30 days over at flippeddlifestyle.com/free. That's FLIPPED lifestyle.com/free today. All right, y'all, before we go, we love to share a Bible verse with everybody out there. You know, Jocelyn and I get a lot of our inspiration, motivation from the Bible. And there's so much stuff in there, man, about living life, business, life, family. And we just want to make sure that we honor the word every single podcast here at Flip Lifestyle. And super excited today because Joelle is going to share a Bible verse that's important to him. So, Joelle, take it away, brother.
Yeah, the Bible verse I want to share today is 1 Timothy 6:12. Let me read that Bible scripture to you. It's, "Fight the good fight of faith. Take hold of the eternal life to which you were called when you made your good confession in the presence of many witnesses." You know, that reminds me back to time when this really kind of sits in with me because it talks about salvation. But for me, I kind of apply this to business. You know, there's a time in my life where actually recently with this membership where I just felt like it's a lot, it's too much. Like maybe I'm just taking on too much. When I read this Bible verse, it just really reminded me that you really have to just press in. You really just have to fight the good fight. And it says fight the good fight, not all the fights. And it just reminded me, listen, just work and focus on what you have here in your plate today. And that's what I did. And I hope that that's something that can resonate with you guys out there.
All right, y'all. That is all the time we have for this week's podcast. I'll see you again next week. Until then, get out there, take action, do whatever it takes to flip your life. We'll see you then.
Bye.
I literally just said no to MC an event, like a MC, like host the whole event of an event I would have like celebrated to speak at for one session, you know?
Okay.
So like, yeah, man. So like, it's like, you just gotta keep stacking, man, until something happens.
Wow. You literally just answered one of my questions.
Value, baby. It's all value all the time. Yeah, that's hilarious. All right. So here's how this works. Let's get into it. I like to save all the good stuff for the air. And awesome. That's great. We'll use that for B-roll.